Welcome to the HFS Hope Focus System and Autism Talk Series, Part 2, presented by CogLeap. In Part 2, we're going to be sharing about the core principles of HFS, the Hope Focus System. Let's take a look at HFS, Hope Focus System, a brain training system. HFS is an intelligent, personalized, drug-free intervention system. It supports children aged 5 to 18 that have ADHD, ASD, attention difficulties, emotional challenges, and behavioral challenges. HFS integrates clinically proven strategies to meet the multifaceted needs of each child. We place a strong emphasis on building connections and trust, and HFS supports holistic development, improving cognitive, communication, social, emotional skills, and physical abilities. Let's take a look at CogLeap's co-founder, Dr. Edward M. Hallowell. Dr. Ned Hallowell is a leading expert in the field of attention and has worked at Harvard for more than 20 years. He has clinics in Boston, New York, Seattle, and San Francisco. And he successfully helped tens of thousands of children and adults achieve success. More importantly, he was one of the very first people to use the strength-based approach with children with ADHD as well as other neurodiverse children. What does this mean? Well, Dr. Hollowell's strength-based theory posits that we should view children in a positive way and discover our children's potential and strengths, rather than only seeing their flaws and looking at where they must improve constantly. It helps us reconnect with our children and stimulates children's inner drive to help them build confidence. This brings us to HFS's core principle. The first core principle is we have a strong emphasis on connection and acceptance. We use Dr. Hallowell's 5-step cycle of excellence. We follow these 5 steps one by one and repeat them over and over again to help children build self-confidence and internal motivation. This also is an important prerequisite for success of intervention training. We'll go more into the 5-step cycle of excellence later. HFS' second core principle is leveraging brain plasticity. So HFS targets neuroplasticity in children to promote lasting change. We know that children and adolescents are highly adaptable. This is because their brains are highly plastic. This means that their brains can change in terms of structure and connectivity all the time. HFS uses bone conduction technology and skill-based movement training. This helps precise targeting of specific brain areas, such as the cerebellum, vestibular system, vagus nerve, frontal lobe, sensory and auditory cortices, motor cortex, and the brainstem. We can see that these areas also correspond to so many different functions, but these are all functions that we want to improve in children with ASD and ADHD and all the symptoms that we talked about. Let's take a look at the brain's learning pyramid. This is a really important concept when understanding the core principles of HFS intervention. When we think about brain improvement, we often think about advanced cognition, or these higher level functions, academic and functional performance, cognitive development in language, learning, organization, and executive functions. But sometimes we forget about these so-called lower cognitive functions. Well, let's do a small exercise. Let me invite you to close your eyes for a moment and maybe take a deep breath. Now, think back to something that was a little bit annoying or bothered you in the last 24 hours. It could have been with a friend or a relative or something at work or anything that could have happened to you, something that made you feel not that great or just kind of annoyed. Now, pay attention to what kind of thoughts are arising as you think about this. Are there negative thoughts? Are there thoughts that make you feel uncomfortable? What about your body feeling? How are you feeling in your body as you think about these negative things? All right, now open your eyes. Come back to the room or wherever you are. And now let's shake our hands. Let's shake our hands left and right, up and down. You can even stand up. And let's take a few deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now, I invite you again to notice what's happening in your body and your mind. How are you feeling? Hopefully, you're feeling a little bit better. Hopefully, you're feeling less negative, less annoyed, And those feelings and thoughts that you had before are not as strong. Well, that was a very, very short exercise just to illustrate how our thinking or advanced cognition is also linked to our body and our sensory processing. When we look at the brain, it's like a pyramid that integrates many levels of information, but they're all interconnected. Our thinking and our thoughts can affect our body and the way we feel. But at the same time, we can use our body and sensation processing to affect our higher level cognition or our thoughts. HFS hinges on this very principle. HFS uses what we call bottom up training. We target these areas so that this area can be improved. This is an overview or a summary of the HFS training session. In each class, each child undergoes music listening therapy using bone conduction headphones and structured skill based exercise training with a 10-minute ending of flow activity. We recommend 2 to 3 training sessions per week with 60 to 90 minutes per session. In each session and in each intervention plan, trainer and parent offer feedback into our system, and AI calculation helps us give the most personalized and step by step growth plan. This targets important brain areas that's highly personalized. We also have a huge activity library. HFS contains more than 1,000 activities, divided into 9 skill based exercises or sports and 20 levels of difficulty each. This keeps your child engaged while training and provides attainable challenges, one step at a time. The HFS AI system means that we can achieve systematic improvement. This means that children feel their growth step by step and they're not easily giving up. We use multidimensional evaluation for precise customization. What does this mean? This means that we use a scientifically validated assessment framework and we obtain many, many different aspects of the behavioral profile of a child. Then we use this for a precise calculation that's AI generated, and a personalized intervention plan is achieved. We match each child's growth stage at every stage to just the right intervention plan for that stage. This ensures that interventions are both challenging and engaging at all times.